Once again, I think of my own life when I walked away from the Lord for that year. God had taken everything from me. My father died when I was 13 years old. We got some money from that. When I turned 18 years old, I was able to buy, first of all, a brand new Jeep, which I bought. And then my mom gave me a 68 Camaro for my 18th birthday with a 327, with a Muncie M22 tranny and a 408 rear end. And that baby moved. So did my driver's license, by the way, with that speed. I got so many tickets, I lost my license. The motorcycle that I told you about, I fixed after the wreck, and then it got stolen. So that everything that I had was taken away from me. The cars were gone, my license was gone, everything. And on top of that, the girl that I'm seeing at the time was giving me some very direct clues that she didn't want to be with me anymore. And so I was thinking of the preemptive breakup, you know, where you're going to break up before they have the opportunity to break up. And I'm driving home in her car that night. And now I'm driving. I know I don't have a license, but I'm backslidden, okay? And as I'm driving, I turn on the radio, and for whatever reason, I turn it over to K-Light, which is the Christian rock station, and there's a song on. And the song's about a backslider who comes back to God. It says, "Little pilgrim, walking down the road of life. Can't you see that there are many others who are just like you?" And they take a little turn to the left, and they see what that road has to offer them. But they have to make it back to the main road anyhow, and you've got all that lost time to make up for.
Walking down the road of life, I find that in your heart you're just a lonely one. For you see, upon that very road, my search for good and truth had its beginning. You take a little turn to the left, and you see what that path has to offer you. Then you gotta make it back to the main road anyhow. And you have all that lost time to make up for. And it's a sad thing to realize that you're all alone, that you're on your own again. Little pilgrim, walking down the road of life, can't you see that there are many others who are just like you? I was looking in that same direction, but all I ever found were others who were searching just like me. And we didn't find the way or the answers to the questions that were buried deep down in our souls. We just found that the ways of men have no answers anyhow. Little pilgrim, walking down the road of life, I know that deep down in your heart that you are just like me. What you're seeking is a better way, and you're reaching out for temporary resting places. And you're glad to find a little peace peace of mind here and there. But it won't last, no, no, 'cause you'll have to move along someday, till you're resting in the arms of the only one who can help you, till you give your heart and your soul and your body and your mind and your life to the Lord. And it's a glad thing to realize.
I went home that night and I prayed, Lord, no longer do I want what I want for me, but now I want what you want for me. And you know what amazes me? When I prayed that prayer and I thought it, here I'm thinking I'm giving him something grand. Lord, no longer do I want what I want for me, which is this big, it's a mess. It's all crumpled. There it is, God, what I want is done to my life. Now I want what you want for me, and in my mind I'm thinking it's work. You know, take me where you want to take me, drag me through the muck and the mire, do whatever you're going to do, God. I give me my life. Little did I know where God would take me, and what God would do in my life, and how God would move. And you know what? Neither do you. I believe that if you are here, you don't need to go all the way to the bottom before you'll come back. Look at the end of verse 6. It says, the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his son and for his daughter, but David strengthened himself in the Lord his God. It's about time. 16 long months talking yourself into doing this, and now you strengthen yourself in the Lord your God, and you know what? God listens to it. The Lord said, him speaking, call out to me, and I will answer you. Even in the midst of your despair, even in your distress, even when your life has been destroyed because of the dumb things you've done, God will answer you. Then verse 7, then David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, please bring the ephod here to me. And Abiathar brought the ephod to David, and now David's getting back into that faith of following God. So David inquired of the Lord. He could have saved himself so much difficulty and trouble had he inquired of the Lord in chapter 27, verse 1. But now here in 30, verse 8, he finally does. So David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. And David does. And David recovers all. He pursues them, and he recovers everything. And folks, listen, it's only a matter of a couple of months until David is sitting on the throne. All of a sudden, the plan that God has for David's life, even though he does this stupid thing and defects to the enemy, God rescues him while he's there, saves him from committing a severe sin, and brings him back in and establishes him. Maybe you're in the same position. Maybe you realize right now, I just haven't been patient enough. Who knows what God has for me or what God wants for me if I would just stop this nonsense of speaking to myself and giving myself bad advice. Maybe today you did say, I know, I'm just going to leave her. Maybe you did say, that's it. When he goes away, to work tomorrow morning, I'm just going to pack up. I'm going to be gone when he gets home. And now God's speaking to you directly. Don't do this. Don't do this thing. Instead, trust God. And folks, as hard as it is, and I understand how hard it is, be patient. Allow God to do what He's going to do in your life. His time schedule is different than your time schedule. Allow God to bring tremendous, awesome blessings in every aspect of your life. It may take some time. And when you find yourself in despair and distress, call out to God rather than talking to yourself. And if you're going to talk to yourself, give yourself good advice. Like, why don't you take this to God? Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Thank you very much. I'm glad. It was, my idea. I know, mine too.